Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here and today we have a brand new Too Faced palette. This is the latest addition to the Sephora exclusive Peaches and Cream collection. This is called Sugar Peach. It's a wet and dry face palette. Of course, I'm wearing the shades from the palette on my face today, so I am going to get to a demo towards the end of the video. I'm also going to do swatches of all the shades, but first let me give you a little bit of product info. The Sugar Peach palette is available now. You can find it on the Too Faced website as well as at Sephora. It's retail priced at $42 US. This is the outer packaging, the little cardboard box that the palette comes in. It's very shiny, as my ring light is showing you. Has the classic little peach emblem here, and it has a little bit of a pink ombre. Very, very pretty. When we look at the palette itself, it has a very similar packaging to the other palettes in the Peaches and Cream line. It's a thick plastic case with this pretty, very girly, very Too Faced emblem on the front. It says Sugar Peach with sparkles. There's the peach, there's the ombre, there's everything that we love about the classic Peaches and Cream packaging, including the little peach magnetic clasp here. I pulled out my Just Peachy Mattes palette to show you that these are the exact same shape and size. Same shape and size, same font, same clasps. I do want to point out the product in here because there is a little bit more product in the face palette. The Just Peachy Mattes has 15 grams of eyeshadow in here, and the face palette has 20 grams of blush and highlight. So the Sugar Peach palette has fewer shades, but it has more total product. When we open up the palette, there is a nice big clear mirror here. There are two highlighters over here and two blushes over here. They all have a really cute little stamp print inside. Some sparkles in these three. This bottom shade called Peach Pop has a little peach with a TF stamped in it. Very cute. The Sugar Peach palette has the same sweet fig and peach fragrance that all the Peaches and Cream products have. This one smells exactly the same and it is so delicious. I know a lot of people either can't tolerate fragrance or they just don't like it. I love it. I love the way this smells so much. So just be aware, like all the other products in this line, this does have a sweet fig and peach fragrance. Let's go ahead and do some swatches now. I am going to do 3 swatches of each shade. So I'll do a finger swatch, a dry brush swatch, and then a dampened brush swatch. Because the palette is meant to be used both wet and dry, I want to show you the swatches both ways. For my brush swatches, I'll be using my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush. I'll use some Fix Plus for the damp swatches, and I'll clean the brush in between each shade using my Vera Monocolor switch. Here's the first shade in the palette. This is a highlighter called Peach Pearl. This is the finger swatch, the dry brush swatch, and the swatch with the brush dampened with Fix Plus. This is a beautiful pale champagne shade, and as you can see, you can get a lot of varying degrees of intensity, just depending on how you apply these. Next up, we have this peachy coral blush called Sugared Peach. This is a matte, but it has a lot of big gold glitters in it. Again, this is the finger swatch, this is the dry brush, and this is the dampened brush. I think you can tell on camera that the dry brush is the way to get the least amount of glitter, but if you apply this with a finger or a dampened brush, a lot of those big glitter particles really do hang in there with this particular shade. This is the deeper highlighter shade. It's called Peach Honey, and it's like a bronze with a peach undertone. It's a very, very beautiful shade. Too Faced calls this a highlighter, and this would be a gorgeous highlighter for a deeper skin tone. I actually mixed this powder in with my bronzer. You'll see that in the demo. This is a very versatile powder. The foiled swatch, the damp swatch is so beautiful. It also looks great applied with the finger or with a brush. I love these powders so much. This is probably my favorite shade in the entire palette. This blush is called Peach Pop. It is an insane bright pink with a gold shift. This is the finger brush and dampened swatch, and I mean, just look at that gold shimmer. It's just so stinking pretty. I don't even have words. I did want to do a comparison between Peach Pop and the NARS Orgasm Blush. This is a stain from the wet swatch of Peach Pop, so just try to ignore that little swatch stain right there. But as you can see, Peach Pop and NARS Orgasm are very similar in color, but Peach Pop is just more intense. These are just quick little like one finger swipe swatches. So same kind of color, same kind of shift, but Peach Pop is just a little bit more intense on first application. And I think that it comes off with just a little bit more of that gold flash as well. Now that you've seen all the shades swatched, let's jump into a quick demo. That way you can see them all in action, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. Let's start off with some bronzer. I'm gonna mix the shade Peach Honey from the Sugar Peach palette in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, just to add a little bit more sheen, and I do want to try to use all of these powders on my face today, so Peach Honey with bronzer it is. Next, I'm gonna highlight. I used the shade Peach Pearl, and I was not expecting this to be so bright. This is applied with a dry brush, and it is insanely intense. Just look at that glow. Now it's time to blush. I'm using Peach Pop, and I'm just really lightly dusting that over my cheekbones in between where I applied the highlighter and the bronzer. And I am so shiny. There's only one thing to do, and that's add some Fix Plus on top to see if we can make me any shinier than I already am. Just a few spritzes of that. I don't know if I've ever been this shiny in my life, but I gotta be honest, I am not mad about it at all. Lastly, I'm gonna use the blush called Sugared Peach, and I'm just really lightly gonna pop that on the apples of my cheeks for a tiny bit more flush. That's the finished look, and I definitely feel like a shiny, sugary little peach. You probably already guessed that I like this. I gotta be honest, when I first saw that this was a face palette with only 4 shades, I was really nervous that it was gonna be not very inclusive. But I gotta say, I think they did a really good job choosing these shades. Because these powders are very soft and very blendable, it's easy to build them up. It's also very possible to wear them more sheared out. And I think that you can mix a lot of these shades to customize your color. If you find, for example, that you want a highlighter somewhere in between these two, you can just kind of dip your brush back and forth in between them and customize your own highlighter shade. Likewise, I think it would be really easy to lighten up or deepen either of the blush shades just by adding in one of the highlighters. As you saw in the demo, I was able to use the deeper highlighter shade to add some shimmer to my bronzer. So these powders do mix really well, they layer really well, and I was nervous about this orange blush with the gold glitters in it, Sugared Peach, because I am honestly not a fan of matte shades with like big chunks of glitter in them. I love some shimmer, but when it comes to glitter on the face, I just don't really prefer that look. But I'm wearing the blush today, and as long as I use it dry and kind of tap off my brush, because these are pigmented, these powders will pick up a lot even on a dry brush. But I found it very easy to customize my use of these powders. Even though it's only 4 shades in the pans here, there's a lot of use that can come out of these, and I really do think that this palette is going to work across a lot of skin tones. On the front here, it actually says face and eye palette. Of course, any face powders can be used as eyeshadows as well, and when these are foiled especially, I think they would make really beautiful eyeshadows. Just beware, these powders are extremely soft and pigmented, so you are going to experience some kickback in the pan when you dip a brush in there. You really are going to want to tap off the brush and build up the color, that way you don't get way too much pigment all at once on the cheeks. Unless that's the look you're going for, and then you know what? Do you. This palette's gonna do it for you, that's for sure. I'm happy to see the Peaches and Cream line expanding. I've really enjoyed most of the products so far. I love the scent, I love the pretty packaging, and now there's just these gorgeously soft, intense, metallic powders for me to love too. Of course, I want to hear what you guys think about this palette. Is it on your radar? Has it been added to your holiday wish list? Leave a comment and let us know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. So we will do a quick oh, I just got lip gloss all over it. This sugar peach let's get into it. What? Just what? It's about to be a hurricane, guys. Well, it no? Okay. Great. I just gotta sniff it again. It's so good. It's so pretty. Don't eat it, don't eat it, don't eat it, don't eat it. I wonder if it tastes like anything. Should I taste it? Probably get demonetized for that. It's like the Tide Pod challenge all over again. It doesn't really taste like anything. I did it so you don't have to. Please don't unsubscribe. Okay then, I'm gonna go rethink my life choices, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.